Welcome to Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida, qualifying just underway for the Labor 12 Truck Series, part of the Sidewinder Racing Leagues. Check them all out at dgsracing.com. See the 96 Andrew Beach. So many things about this truck's paint scheme trigger me. The quarter panel numbers. But there's actually something worse than the quarter panel numbers. And it's also on Jeff Price's truck, and we'll see if you can pick out what it is and tell me in chat. Hayden Lowell rolling out, Dave Hoytsma, 2 of Cleaver, 00 Randy Lee, Nathan Harper, Talon Smith eventually rolling, there he is, 83 Jay Richter, 03 Gatlin Downey, 29 Kenneth Stout, 47 Dalton Hayes, 54 Patsy Catalano, and disappearing. Trenton heading out. See Andrew Beach and I think Jay Richter. Yeah, they're right there pretty close to one another. Dalton picks up his green flag. Starts his first time lap. Kind of the ones we'll be keeping an eye on to see who posts what. Right along with the pizza boy here. Check out his awesome low time helmet. So he's running his first lap up high, so a throwaway lap. He'll be putting his effort in on lap 2. Let's check in on Talon Smith. Heard him shift right there. Looking on Daddy Dave's, he posts the first lap. To the top of the charts in the 79. He's keeping it right down by the yellow line. Stout up off the yellow line a bit. Randy right on the line. Jay right on the line. All these guys are on lap 2. Trenton right down there. Beach. Cleveland drifts up a little bit. Catalano. Salton Hayes. See where everyone's running. And Downey. There's Harper. Dave's second lap goes to the top of the board. 79 Labor 12 Chevy rockets to that top spot. Andrew Beach a 52.45. Catalano a 52.42 goes second. There'll be 2 identical Haviland Chevys out there. 54 and the 05 running the same paint scheme. Trenton, the Mike Skinner throwback goes P4. 52.43. He'll pull it down and stub it. Here comes Harper. 52.38 for Harper. Here comes Smith to the line. Talon goes to the top. 52.33. That's 71 truck. Talon knocks Harper down to second. Ethan Evers goes third. Checking on Matt Benke. He clocks in 6th. Hayden Lowell clocks in 8th and then wrecks it. He'll go to a backup truck. Jeff Price 13th. Mike Edwards goes to 3rd. Very nice lap there from Mikey. There's Cliff and Blake out on track. There's Blake. There's a whole lot of yellow. Artemis Esports truck glowing out there for Blake. Check back with Cliffs. He comes to the line. 52.556 moves him up to 16th, and that is the end of qualifying. Talon Smith, your pole sitter. And we head into race time, 60 laps. 60 laps around Daytona to decide who moves on into the playoffs. This is the cutoff race for that, so 31 trucks. Should be a good time. Let the field get up there, grid up, and we'll get to it. There's Harper while we wait on Talon. See if Talon jumped in a driver chat, if we can pull him in. Have a word about sitting on pole. There he is. Talon, DG, got me? Apparently not. Could be why his truck's out on grid too. Waiting for still 3 trucks in the top 10 to get out there so we can run through our starting lineup. Big field tonight, 31 trucks. Love to see it. We'll go ahead and get the music started for you. Labor 12 providing this awesome starting lineup music. Still waiting on Edwards and Harper. Hi, Neo. Where's the cock looking to be at? He's just sitting 8th right now. Sitting 8th, but he's always good on these restrictor plate tracks. Won the Super Speedway Series Championship last season. We're just waiting for Talon Smith, Dominic Lee, Jake Bustos, Colin Teague, get out on track. We can start our starting lineup. It's hard to do without our pole sitter. There he is. Talon Smith in the 71, your pole sitter for tonight. Outstanding lap in qualifying there for Talon. Then we have Nathan Harper in the 7th, starting in 2nd. He said this is a throwback to his win at Vegas earlier this season. Mike Edwards in the Fort Worth Screen Ford starts in the 3rd spot. Ethan Evers, AC Delco throwback, starts in the 4th spot. Dave Hoytsma, the Labor 12 Chevy, starts in 5th. Patsy Catalano Haviland Chevrolet starts 6th. Matt Benke Amtrak Chevy starts 7th. Trenton Sneed in the Mike Skinner Sneed Tombstone Game Farm throwback starts in 8th. Hayden Lowell in the Napa Chevy starts 9th. Andrew Beach in the low time throwback with the quarter panel numbers starts in the 10th spot. Gatlin Downey, another Haviland Chevy, starts 11th. Cody Cleaver, the McDonald's throwback to himself in the KVRP days, starts in the 12th spot. Dalton Hayes in the Tide Ride, he ran this thing a few seasons back. It's a Kevin Harvick throwback, starts in 13th. Jeff Price, Back Channel Production Chevy, 14th. Kenneth Stout, Miller Lite, Brad Keselowski throwback, starts in the 15th spot. Cliff Mullins gets to run it back to himself, runs in 16th. Randy Lee, well, he's a drummer of Labor 12, he can do whatever he wants. He's running Labor 12 Toyota there in 17th spot. Jay Richter running this throwback to a paint scheme that he did very well with here before. In the 83 truck starts in the 18th spot. Blake Iglio in the Artemis Esports Toyota 19th. Dominic Lee doesn't appear to have gridded. Travis Martin in the Ghostman Ford rolls off 21st. Jake Bustos in the U.S. Army Toyota starts in 22nd. Welcome back, Jake. Colin Teague in the Joint Bass Pro Ford 23rd. Jay Munch in the Taz Dale Earnhardt throwback starts in the 24th spot. Daniel Wallen, Labor 12 Chevy. He runs the same paint scheme all the time, so throwing it back to himself in 25th. Zach Martinson in the Gamer Sub Chevy starts 26th. Will Spark in his own mean 90 truck, throwing himself back in 27th. Dick Lawrence in the One Man Punch Toyota starts 28th. Jeremy Scherer, BetMGM Chevy runs in 29th. Scott Elston, this is a Dale Jr. Short Track Richmond throwback, starts in the 30th spot. And Will Ashbrenner, a Granger throwback, rolling off 31st. 31 trucks is set to do battle here. Don't see Dominic Lee in the 21 team on track, so we may have only 30 trucks. That would make our scoreboard happy. So we'd only have to run through 21 through 30 and not have a extra page for the 31st truck. Field works through turns 3 and 4. We got 60 laps to decide this thing. Hopefully we'll get more green flag than yellow. But you never know with the size of a field this big, 31 trucks. Going to have to pack the patience. Pace car heads to the pit lane. Here we go. Have to wait for the green on an initial start. There it is. Green flag in the air. We are underway at Daytona Beach. So Dominic Lee does get out on the track. He is starting from the pits. He assumed there would be danger. Talon Smith trying to lead him down into turn 1. Has the push from Mike Edwards. And Dave Hoytsma on the inside lane. And then a big gap back to Matt Benke. Top lane has Harper and Ethan Evers. I can't tell which Haviland truck that is. I think it's Catalano. And it is. Outside lane has Harper, Evers, Catalano in your top 3. I'm going to jump on a little bit wider angle. You can see a little bit more than just the top 6 trucks. This many trucks in field, you like to try and keep an eye on as many as you can. We can see all the way back to Ashenbrenner in 29th. Looks like Benke's dropped back out of the field. Maybe him and Dominic Lee will hook up. Races off into turn number 1. Completed lap 1. Edwards trying to shove Talon Smith back out to the point. Cody Cleavers decided to move to the bottom. Topside can usually be the way to make passes. Problem is, when a wreck occurs, you have nowhere to go, and you just get caught up in it. Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate you, my guy. Leave somebody for me. Hello, Chrissy. Welcome on in. Trenton currently up 1 spot from his starting position. He is running 7th, qualified 8th. We've made it 2 laps green. Mike Edwards having a blink right in the middle there while pushing Talon. That is quite scary. Everybody back to 29th. Will Ashenbrenner still in this lead pack. I think Dominic Lee, the 2 trucks out of the lead group. It's like that one angle, just that one angle, forces us to see such a tight window on the trucks. Let's try TV3 for fun. Well, that's really far out. I love this shot. So cool. A little out of line there on the outside lane. Cliff Mullins, Hayden Lowell. Yellow truck behind him, Blake Giglio. They were all shuffling about. Hopefully we can make it through the first green flag stop. That will give the field an opportunity to get a little bit apart. Oh, Blake, he wants to go 3 wide. Takes it to the outside. Hayden moves down. Cliff's going to look up there. Drop back down in line. Giglio kind of out there by himself. Nobody wanted to go with him. Blake will drop back behind the Miller Lite truck. Oh, they're still 3 wide. No one wanting to go with Blake and run that 3rd lane. Blake's still hanging on out there, being stubborn. I think Randy's giving him room to get back down if he wants it. And Blake finally will get back in line. Cost him about 4 spots what he tried there. Outside line starting to get a really good push here. Harper's going to try to get down. He decided against it. He had the room. Oh, 3 wide again back in the field. See who it is this time. That's Margison all the way up high. Will Spark in the middle. You ever seen the Sidewinder gif of 36 of 37 trucks on track wrecking at the same time and the 37th truck winning? That driver hasn't been here most of the season, but he's here tonight. Jay Richter. Orange and blue 83. It's screaming down the backstretch. Very good racing so far. And your dad's chilling right there, 3rd truck inside lane. don't know who gave the patience speech today, but whoever it was needs to do it every race. They're doing so good so far. So good. Get some driver chat in here.
Best friends. Yep.
What? Adam, thanks for the Prime Gaming, my friend. Oh, we're going 3 wide on the outside of Dalton Hayes. Cliff Mullins outside of Hayes. Ken Stout caught in the middle between Hayden Law and Dave Hoytsma. They went from behaving to not behaving real quick. It's going to get tight on that outside line. Hayden gets into the outside wall. Not a lot of room. Mullins still to the outside of Dalton Hayes. Dalton could go to the bottom if he wanted to. I don't think he wants to. Going to keep Will Spark 3 wide with Cliff Mullins, and I believe that is the 81 of Trenton at the bottom. Trenton lets Will Spark down. They get back to double file. I feel like the top 6 trucks stayed the same. What changed was behind them. Now Kenneth Stout in the 29 going in between Dave Hoytsma and the 47 of Dalton Hayes. Going to push Hayes up the track. Then a little bit of netcode pushes Hayes up again.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Hayes understandably not pleasured about the 29 truck.
Kenneth, you're really dumb, you know that, right?
Wow, Will Spark and Dalton Hayes agreeing on something. You really done fucked up. There goes the 21 going a lap down. Dominic Lee thought there'd be a wreck. Started from the pits. First truck to go a lap down. He's still okay though, so he can stay out of a wreck. He can be the lucky dog recipient. Oh, we're going to get turned. That is the 29 of Kenneth Stout going around. We were on board as he went around. He's going to come down on Cliff Mullins. Mullins sends him around. And out goes Kenneth Stout. I hear a lot of the drivers not happy with his driving. He was so far off the racing surface that did not trigger a caution, and we stay green. I heard a lot of the drivers agreeing that that was not a very safe truck to be around. Well, there you go. You heard the driver say sometimes the problems take care of themselves. Cliff is in 17th. See if his truck looks damaged. It'll be hard to tell from this angle. It'd be on the right front if it was.
Alright, you guys, double file or single file in the front?
3? 3 is the answer.
Triple file?
Triple file. Triple file's the answer. We've waited till lap 12, but now we have 3 wide battle for the lead. So they catch Matt Benke. Benke's going to have to get the hell off the track. It's the only way he can avoid it. He does so. Nice move there from Matt. As the field's gone 3 wide. Heard Matt inquire, were they single file or double file? Yes, and then some. Ethan Evers in the 8. Getting a push from the 54 of Catalano as the 7 of Harper's gone all the way down to the bottom lane. Now you have the 16 and 23, that's the Wallen and Giglio all the way at the top. They're trying to make the 3rd lane work. Catalano's going to jump up in front of him. He's teammates with those folks. There's Dave Hoytsma will go up there with him. There's 55. Margison jumps to the middle there. Oh, this is getting scary. The 25% mark. Y'all calm it down. This is scary. Catalano trying to surge to the lead on the high lane. Ethan Evers fighting back with the help of Dalton Hayes. Then you have the bottom of Talon Smith and the 7 of Harper. Daniel Wallen bounces it off the outside wall by himself. Catalano's going to get a good run here down the backstretch. A good exit off turn number 2 with a good push. We're still 3 wide for the race lead going into turn 3. Oh my gosh, look at these trucks bouncing all over the place. This is a recipe for disaster. Completed 25% of this race. Somehow we're still green. I have no idea how. I'm gonna say it. Dalton Hayes gets up the hill and everyone dies. Cliff gets a piece of it late. Right when I said they made it without wrecking. Dalton Hayes goes up the hill.
Holy shit!
I saw this earlier this week with Dalton. There is his truck all torn up. Let's try to get a look at it. What happened? And get the drone out. Follow along with the field as we go into turn 1. Up the hill he goes without any contact. Let's take a second look at that. It happened so fast. And Catalano does come down on him, right on his nose. One more time, slow it down. Catalano looks like he comes down while Hayes is in that middle lane. Slow it down a bit so we can listen to Daniel.
Nice.
Watch that Haviland truck on the outside line start to drift down while Hayes is still in the middle.
EOL, you can.
Pounds into Hayes, turns him down into the 7, back up into the 16 and the 23. It's like Hayden's going to get a shot from Edwards, and Edwards gets hit by Will Spark right up into the outside wall. You can watch for your favorite drivers. We watch Hayes slide down the hill, clips Cliff Mullins in the right front. I think Beach is going to make it through there just barely. Jeff Price, oh my gosh, does he make it through there? That was wild. Let's jump back with the 19 again. If he makes it through this, that is incredible.
Am I speeding you up? I got an EOL though, speeding fast.
Up the hill he goes and does avoid it. My goodness, what an avoidance there by the 19 of Jeff Price. Trenton did not get so fortunate. Unfortunately for the 81 team. Oh, gets hit in the back by the 2 and the right door by the 55. Trenton has a bit of damage to the Mike Skinner machine. Let's check in on the 55 as he drops down the running order. Oh man, he got pounded in there. You see Jake was right in that. Not too bad really for this 58. Let's see Hayden. Got tagged in the rear, then he's okay. Mikey takes a very vicious hit for 14. Ugh. I think Mikey lifted for the wreck and Will Spark did not. Mikey paid the price for that.
Get in, pass me the yellow. And then I got black flag.
There it goes.
See if the 83 uses some more of that Daytona magic to get through here. Slows it down pretty good. Cuts it into the grass, much like that huge wreck avoidance that he had for the win. J. Richter up to 13th after missing everything. Daddy Dave right in the middle of everything. Lost his back end, slides down the hill. Randy Lee right in the middle of it. I don't know if Randy got damaged. Check the 00. Yeah, Patsy came down, Hayes. Little tag there on the back end of the 79, but mostly okay for Randy. Mostly. Good chat with Randy since he's here. Randy, DG, got a copy?
How you doing, good sir? How you doing, good sir?
Yeah, it helps to be over here and not over there.
Yeah, I know. wrong button on the steering wheel.
Well, it's good to see you out here tonight. Got that 00 looking mostly okay. Had a little contact with the 79 right there at the end, but it didn't seem too bad. How's the truck?
I got a black for.
No, we're good. It was very, very little damage. We're doing all right. Just trying to figure out, get our bearings back on racing again. And since the boys' baseball games rained out over here, I was like, I'm gonna go racing tonight.
Hell yeah, well, we're glad to have you, and man, it's a lot of fun when you're around. So let's tell everyone really quick about Labor 12 at about half a lap.
We still working on the music video. Should be done pretty quickly. Working on, I got new stuff, especially to show you for the next album. And yeah, things are looking up. We're doing good.
Beautiful. We love to hear it. Check them out, laborxii.com. Thank you so much, my friend, and good luck.
Much love, brother.
Randy Lee, 00 truck, drummer for Labor 12. You see so many Labor 12 logos in this field because, well, they're awesome people with an awesome rock band. Plus, they sponsor the series, so that doesn't hurt. Pace car is about to make that sharp left down the pit lane. Our first caution of the night. Had a lot of good racing leading up until that. And here we go. Pace car is off. Ethan Evers, Patsy Catalano going to lead him to the green. Alan Smith pushing Catalano. Ethan has Giglio and Harper. Callan, no help from behind. Will Spark well back from him. Kenneth Stout in the 29 trying to go up in front of him. Will Spark about wrecking. Oh, a wreck on the first lap back. Drivers are being a little crazy. Early for this stuff. Kenneth Stout dropping back. 29 Miller truck got shuffled out. Evers has the lead. Giglio probably want to move up high right as soon as he can. Evers blocks that move. Evers read that, went up to block it. Giglio's then going to go to the outside anyway. Now Evers has Harper and Price lined up inside along with the 69 of Jay Munch, the 2 of Cleaver. Outside is Giglio, Catalano. And Talon Smith, Will Spark, and Jeff Price, Colin Teague, and Jay Spark. Inside line starting to prevail. It's Catalano not giving Giglio the push he needed to stay up there. Giglio trying to side draft as much as he can. That is going to be effective as it slows down the inside line while they get the run out of turn 4. Coming to the start-finish line, that is going to be Evers' lap by a splitter. Very narrow margin. Spark looked like he was peeking to that third lane. Let's top up the tanks. See if we can make it to around lap 40. Maybe. and get a second of green flag stops in, that can make things really interesting. On the lead lap is 30 of our 31 starters. Only truck off the lead lap, Matt Banky 31st, 1 lap down. Out of the draft right now is going to be Jake Lawrence in the 68, Jake Bustos in the 74, and Banky in that 35 truck. Field rockets out of turn number 2 onto the backstretch. Ethan Evers with the help from Harper leading the inside line. Cliff Mullins kind of the tail end of this main tight pack. Now the 17th. Right there with the 83 of Jay Richter. Mike Edwards a little bit further back. Dominic Lee, Dalton Hayes, Dave Hoitzman. Dave was up towards the front when they restarted this thing. He finds himself 21st. Travis Martin, he's trying to save his truck. 22nd, Gatlin Downey, Scott Elston, all hanging out back here. Jeremy Scherer, Zach Martison, Trenton Sneed. Remember, Trenton had to use a fast repair, so he's probably trying to save that truck to the end. And we have Will Ashbrenner in the 31. A lot of drivers trying to make it to the end before they go crazy. Speaking of said craziness, here we are up front. Field works out of turn number 4, heading to the tri-oval. Hayden Lowell goes from the bottom to the top. Slices in front of Colin Teague. Like Daddy Dave's made his way back into this main group. We now have 21 trucks tightly packed together. Oof, Giglio really pinching down on the inside line. Dangerous game to play. It's effective, but if it goes wrong, you're wadding up a ton of trucks. Giglio leads that lap. Blake, by virtue of starting this race, locks into the playoffs. Lucas not in this race, so Lucas just rooting for his dad and his teammates, as Lucas intentionally misses the playoffs. Lucas figures he's won enough, I'm guessing. Let somebody else have a win. We'll go back to Will Ashbrenner, still in this lead pack. He's in 28th. See that Granger truck at the tail end of the field. 28. Closing out halfway. Give away some stage points. You never know when that's going to be the difference between making the next playoffs and not. Do the best you can at all times. Last playoff point right now will go to Andrew Beach. Well, last point. Not playoff point. Last point from the stage would go to Andrew Beach right now. He's in a battle. That's Cody Cleaver to his inside and Hayden Law. Two laps till halfway. 2.5. 2.5. Means they got that one wreck out of them. They want to calm down a little bit. I don't want to jinx it again, but they want to calm down a little bit. Jeff Price, quite a lot of movement there, side to side, going through 4. Will Spark drifting down to the inside again. That's where a lot of these wrecks come from. You see the trucks just not hold their line, and a truck on the inside lane and a truck on the outside lane usually don't hold their lines at the same time. When they're double filing, get a wreck. When they're 3 wide, it only takes one person not holding the line. We are catching lap trucks here. I believe that was Jake Bustos. Oh, Catalano bangs doors with Jeff Price. That's what we were talking about. If Price had been just a little bit offset and moved up like he just did there, that would have been a wreck. Fortunately, they hit wheel to wheel and it didn't turn anybody sideways. On the halfway lap, end of this lap, will give out points to our top 10. 10 points for the lead. 1 point to 10th. Use your imagination between. Blake trying to nose that Artemis Esports Toyota out in front for the halfway stage. Doesn't really matter, he's already locked in, but he wants that pride. And it's going to go to Evers. There are your stage points. Ethan Evers 10, Giglio 9, Harper 8, Catalano 7, Price 6, Talon Smith 5, Jay Munch 4, Will Spark 3, Cody Cleaver 2, and Andrew Beach does pick up that final point at halfway. Looks like the lap trucks have decided to move to the apron. Bustos in the 74. Benke in the 35. He'll go 2 laps down. Now 3 laps down. Jake Lawrence, next truck they'll come up on. Lawrence has lost the draft. There's Lawrence, you briefly saw him coming up there. See where he decides to go as the field approaches. That Will Spark looking to the outside of Talon Smith. Maybe just wanted to get some air on the nose. Looks like the Jake Lawrence machine is going to stay up by the outside walls. We'll go down the backstretch. Let's take a ride along, make sure everything goes cleanly. That's such a cool shot. It'll never get old. To watch that so many times. So Jake is going to be in the field here. Should be able to pick up some drafts. He needs to stay ahead of Jake Bustos, and Bustos has left the pack, so that is going to be advantage Lawrence. Sorry, I was trying to stay on the first position, first truck 1 lap down. The 8 and 16, side by side. 16 leading the Truck Series race is quite the throwback. Remember the Hornaday days? So dominant. I promise I'm not picking a camera shot on purpose. I set it to TV mixed and let it go. We have a 3 wide now. That looks like the Napa truck. Hayden Lowell up on the high line. And the 71 moves down to the bottom in front of Jeff Price. Will Spark's going to be thrilled with that as he moves up to the back of Fazio Catalano. These trucks have to be starting to get thirsty. By my estimations, that's probably why we see some trucks trying to move down, like Talon Smith. Just past halfway in this race here at Daytona Beach, Florida, the Labor 12 Truck Series. We're watching Giglio and the 8 of Evers battle for the lead. Also keeping an eye on the pit lane. Any minute now, you could see people peeling off and hitting pit lane. Matt Benke has decided to do so in the 35. Benke now 4 laps down, 31st position. Bit of a long stop, 40 seconds. Maybe he had an issue getting on the pit lane. Hayden Law up to the top again. Then back in line again. I think Hayden's just bored. Hayden does not like sitting in line riding behind people. Report from the 35, it is a mechanical issue. Saying the FPS in the truck is so bad it's actually straining the eyes. Hopefully we can get that resolved. Here's the 29 shooting back out to the outside line. And drop down to the bottom. Ken Stout. Go on board, race leader Ethan Evers. You see the truck on the outside, Blake Giglio just nosing ahead. Blake will lead that lap. Blake's back in, wiggled a little bit there. Didn't see any contact. Oh, they're going to get right on the door of the 8. Giglio kind of playing with fire how much he's side drafting. You never know what iRacing is going to say. Well, netcode, your day's done. Very dangerous. Report from the 35 camp. That truck had a FPS of 7. If you don't know, average is usually like 30 to 60 for good seeing. Beyond 60 is just kind of overkill. But he had 7. Yikes. Colin Teague blinking in the middle of the field. Everyone able to handle that. Lead pack still 28 truck strong. Will Asheranner, Scott Elston, Trenton Sneed, Jeremy Scherer, Travis Martin hanging out at the back. And we're going to get 3 wide once again. Catalano is getting shuffled out. Catalano actually shuffled out the 16 of Giglio. Catalano wanting to go to the front. Giglio slams in front of Colin Teague. He did not want to go any farther backwards. That's going to hurt Will Sparks. He has to go behind Kenneth Stout, then makes contact with them. He hits the 29. Then Will Sparks gets hit by the 37. Everyone keeps it going straight, but there was a lot of contact there. Now Cliff's going to have to push the 90 to catch back up for draft purposes. A lot happened there.
Big light.
Catalano with the help of Hayden Lull and Andrew Beach going to the front. Well, we got pit stops. They are peeling off. Trying to see which drivers it was. Ethan Evers, Talon Smith, the 7 of Harper. Looks like the 21 of Dominic Lee. Jay Richter, Scott Elston, Will Ashbrenner, all on the pit lane. So our first group of leaders, Talon Smith included, all hit the pit lane. Now we have Hayden Lull, Andrew Beach.
Here, Dave. Ka-chow.
Hayden Lull takes over as the race leader. Looks like this group on and off the pit lane, no penalties. Here comes another group. Hayden Lull, Kenneth Stout, Cliff Mullins, Jeff Price. It's like Randy Lee. Will Spark, Zach Marderson, Travis Martin, Jeremy Scherer, and Gatlin Downey all in this group. Another large group of trucks on and off the pit lane. That leaves 8 trucks still on track. Colin Teague, Patsy Catalano, Blake Giglio, Jay Munch, Dave Hoisma, Cody Cleaver, Daniel Llewellyn, and Trenton Sneed. Those 8 trucks still need to pit. Colin Teague leading those. The stops were much shorter for this group of trucks. Jeff Price, Zach Marderson, and company, they have about 8-second stops compared to the 11s for the other group. Here comes the other group. I'm just going to all intermingle. Right up front. Looks like Colin Teague pitted all by himself. That is the downside of not having teammates. Colin Teague going to have no one to draft coming out of the pit lane. Wonder what that next one Beach was about. Find out. Oh, that was what it's about. Cliff Mullins pushing Andrew Beach up into the corner. Then Beach goes up the hill right in front of Ethan Evers. Ethan gets into the outside wall. That is why the displeasure with said Beach. These 7 trucks still have not hit the pit lane. Ethan Evers, Talon Smith, Nathan Harper, Dalton Hayes, Dominic Lee were in that first group to pit. You see a scattering of trucks behind. Look like Andrew Beach heading back down the pit lane. Will Asherbranner appears to have had a penalty, 49 seconds on his stop. But here comes Giglio, Dave Hoitzman, Patsy Catalano, Jay Munch, Daniel Wall, and Trenton Sneed all on the pit lane. Dave missed his box, had to back up in the 79 truck. There goes Cleaver in the 2. Bustos and Cleaver first 2 down and away. Bustos a lap down. As will Asherbrenner around. Will actually passing Bustos for position. And here comes the field behind that. Ethan Evers storming up the field in the 8. Bunch of teammates in line with him. Talon Smith, Nathan Harper, Dalton Hayes, 21 of Dominic Lee. On the outside line, it looks like Jeff Price, Hayden Lowell, Will Spark, 83 of Richter, 14 of Edwards. This main pack all the way back to Travis Martin. Make their way past Will Asherbrenner. Cody Cleaver trying like hell. Push the truck in front of him, the lap truck of Bustos, up to that field. And I think he's going to do it. They should just about have the draft of that lead pack after that lead pack checked up for the lap truck. So that should bring this handful of trucks back to Kenneth Stout, back to the front. We have Colin Teague tagging along, Gatlin Downey. The first truck may not have draft. It's going to be Blake Giglio. Blake has to hope Will Asherbrenner can hang on to the truck in front of him, or Blake's going to be shuffled out. We have Catalano Llewellyn, Daddy Dave, Jay Munch, Trenton Sneed back in 24th. That pit cycle did not go well for them. Scott Elson shuffled out of the draft by himself. That Dale Jr. throwback. Currently 25th. Randy Lee, another one. About 4 seconds back from Scott in 26th. Jake Lawrence is a lap down in the main pack. He's trying to stay ahead of Andrew Beach. There is said Beach. He had that pit penalty. Beach a lap down. Jake Bustos 2 laps down now. Ashbrander also 2 laps down. Has the help from Giglio now. And Benke back out there. May have got his frames figured out. He is sitting 9 laps down in that 35 Amtrak car. And here comes Price. They have finally worked that outside line to get alongside the 8 of Evers. 14 laps to go. They should be done pitting. Barring the damage repair type of situation, they should be done coming down the pit lane. See the inside line really bobbing and weaving. Jeff Price pinching right down on Talon Smith. I think everyone back to Cody Cleaver.
I'm sorry, maybe y'all go around the outside. I had no idea y'all coming.
Oh, they're wrecking. Hayden Lowell, Jeff Price, Mike Edwards. Hayden's up on the wall. Oh my gosh, somebody just about cleared it. That might have been Jeff Price in the 19. Hayden Lowell still riding the fence.
Can't park it, Hayden.
That will bring the field back together. Let's see how that unfolded. Oh, a contact from Will Spark into the Hayden Wall machine as they were checking up front. Hayden didn't want to pass Jeff Price. He wanted to stay in line and work with them. Will Spark not giving him that opportunity, shoves him into chaos there. Let's go back and see if Will got pushed into it or if it was indeed the 90 setting that off. It looked like the bump came before Jay Richter got there. There's the bump. So yeah, the bump comes before Jay Richter gets there. Hayden Hall and Jeff Price up on the wall.
Sorry guys, I caused that. I got tight into the corner and I didn't let Hayden know fast enough. I'm sorry.
Well, really it was Will Spark getting into Hayden. Jeff Price being a little hard on himself there. Yeah, I mean, he does stack up the field a bit, but there, the contact from the 90 into the 56. Or Mike Edwards. Swept up in that one. See if the Ghost Man makes it through right behind Mike. That's all from that angle. Looks like Kenneth Stout got through pretty well.
I want to apologize to the leaders. This car just pushed tight.
Well, this group is far enough back, they should be all okay. CTC just got really fortunate with this caution that they were able to catch all up and not have to worry about being involved.
I'm coming around on the outside. Lucky dog coming hot.
See if Travis gets banged up here. Does a pretty good job of getting on the brakes for how close he was. I think he may have got a little contact on the front, but Travis Martin pretty fortunate not to be way worse than that little bit of contact he got. So let me watch Daniel go through there. Trenton was in that second group, so he's fine. All these guys move up by virtue of not pitting. Good for them. See if Shear, he's out on the inside line ahead of Jake Lawrence, right behind Mike Edwards. A little bit of contact, and Cliff gives him a little extra. Seems to be alright though there for Shear. He came down in the pit lane and got a bit of help. Let's watch Cliff go through there. Travis is no damage. That's impressive. That is impressive. You were right there in the middle of it. I think you just had the slightest tap on the truck in front of you. So impressive. Well, all right. Vehicles that stayed out on this caution: Ethan Evers, Talon Smith, Nathan Harper, Dalton Hayes, Dominic Lee, your top 5. Kenneth Stout, run 6th, Blake Giglio 7th, Patsy Catalano 8th, Dave Hoytsman 9th, Trenton Sneed 10th, Randy Lee 11th, Daniel Llewellyn 12th, Jeff Price 13th, Travis Martin 14th, Colin Teague 15th, Jay Munch 16th, Cody Cleaver 17th, Gatlin Downey 18th, Scott Elson 19th, and Cliff Mullins your top 20. Daniel Llewellyn is the first truck that came down the pit lane, but it only shows 18 seconds, like he just rolled through the pit lane. Jeff Price looks like he took on 4 tires and fuel, as did Martin, Jay Munch, Colin Teague, Cody Cleaver, Gatlin Downey. Elson a 13-second stop, so I don't think that's 4 tires. But he has joined back up with the group, but still on the lead lap. Cliff Mullins, Jeremy Scherer, Andrew Beach. Scherer 21st, Beach 22nd, Jay Richter 23rd. Mike Edwards 24th. All those trucks on the lead lap. Mike Edwards has no right front fender. I think he already used his fast repair. We'll have to run our split here to be able to find out. See who's still got them, who's not. If they got a 1 by their name, they have already used their fast repair. So you see that for Giglio, Hayes, Stout, Hoytsmith, Sneed, Scherer, Edwards, Lawrence. So yeah, Mikey already used it. Hayden, Spark, Margison. Let it cycle back around. Llewellyn, Price. A lot of them still have them. Relatively clean race.
Hey, Adam Crozier, I know you're watching the stream right now. Tell Neil he can fuck off.
He can't really tell him.
God damn it. He can type it. He can read that fucking thing.
You know he has
Yeah,
text to
there you go.
speech.
Type it.
He
Can't
has
tell him
he
shit.
has text to speech. He can hear you, kind of.
Good. I hope you heard that shit too. Right in, yeah.
Here we go.
My joke.
9 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Ethan Evers, Talon Smith leading them down to turn 1. Harper and Lee behind Evers. You have Hayes, I believe. That is the 29 of Stout pushing there on the high line. Laps winding down here at Daytona Beach. We're under 10. 8.5 to go as they race down the backstretch.
Yes, please take it. I don't want to crash. I already did it too many times.
Evers by a front bumper at the line there. 8 laps to go. Things are getting intense. I won the edge of my seat. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Probably some drivers about to fall out their seats. Daddy Dave looked to take a peek outside Giglio. I think they're going to be working together, so probably won't see that happen. As that's Talon Smith in the 71 blinking in and out briefly. Outside line leader. We'll slow them down a hair. They'll rebound as they compress back together. Streaks across the start finish line. 22 trucks in this main pack. On the lead lap at least. Jay Richter, Mike Edwards not in this main pack. They have damage. Or at least Edwards does. Those trucks 23rd, 24th on the lead lap.
Driver's cut. Driver's list for you there, buddy. Didn't mean to get into you.
Alan Smith noses out ahead of Ethan Evers. Blake Giglio trying to get that third line working. Goes to the outside of Kenneth Stout. Oh, Kenneth Stout's going to get up into Blake Giglio. A little bit of door-to-door contact, but they survive it. Travis Martin's going to get turned at the back of the field. And there goes Travis Martin up in the air. We go a little too far back. There they are, I reckon. The Ghost Man. I saw him get turned, caution, back out. Try to see what happens to Travis here. Looks like a push gone wrong from a teammate. Let's go get the drone real quick. So he's behind Daniel Llewellyn, ahead of J-Munch. J-Munch gets him in the back bumper and then gets him in the left rear. I don't know if Travis checked up a little bit and J-Munch didn't anticipate that, or if J-Munch just kind of drove through him. I couldn't tell which was which, so we'll just give him benefit of the doubt and say he was not expecting that checkup. Chavvy Trav goes around. One more look at it from 69's cockpit. If I can get there fast enough. There you go. Hear him lift. Yeah, Travis checked up a little bit. J-Munch not expecting it. Obviously doesn't want to drive through his teammate. Not ideal. Let's go back and... Travis obviously went up in the air. We'll see how he got all that going. It's like Bustos went underneath him for a moment. Will Spark involved. He's already 2 laps down, lost his front end. There's a lot of guys towards the back of the field that were seemingly just trying to make it to the end. Probably not prepared for all that to go down. This is right by Scott Elston. He may get a piece of Travis Martin on the right front. Oh my gosh. That was Will Spark and I don't know who the other white truck was. Andrew Beach, maybe. Yep. I want to watch this from Elston's onboard. That had to be crazy. Where's the 85? And following the one-man punch, Toyota, Jake Lawrence. Hello, Dustin. Right in time to wreck review. There goes Travis. Bam! Right into Jake Lawrence. That was a bad one for the 1010s team. That was 3 of their trucks. Looks like Elston got a little contact on both sides. But it could have been way worse for him. Definitely got an eyeball full of it. Definitely got a close-up. Well, now it's scoring Talon Smith as your leader. Ethan Evers 2nd, Dalton Hayes 3rd, Nathan Harper 4th, Dominic Lee 5th, Blake Giglio 6th, Kenneth Stout 7th, Dave Hoisman 8th, Randy Lee 9th, and Patsy Catalano 10th. Trenton Steeds up to 11th, Jeff Price 12th, Gatlin Downey 13th, Daniel Llewellyn 14th, Cliff Mullins 15th, and J-Munch 16th. All of those trucks have stayed out under this caution. Elston, obviously for damage reasons, came to the pit lane, as did Andrew Beach, Travis Martin, Colin Teague, Jeremy Scherer, Cody Cleaver, Edward still in the pit lane along with Jay Richter. Hayden Knowles back in the field 2 laps down. He did not pit this caution. Well, Ashley Renner coming off the pit lane. He's 2 laps down. Jake Bustos sitting for repairs 2 laps down. Matt Benke had those issues. Back out there in 30th right now. He's already passed Zach Margison for 31st. Will Spark will be the next one he could pass in 6 laps, so he would need a green white checker to move up any further. Probably getting the one to green here. And we do. Lights out on that pace car. We are about a lap away from getting restarted here. Let's bring Lucas in. Lucas, DG, got a copy? Well, Lucas is not here. I saw him hanging out in chat. I was going to let him come up and talk about how this race might unfold, but he has disappeared. This occurred indeed. Beach, DG, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
One word that describes both your night and your sex life.
Underwhelming.
Enjoy your race. He did that to me in the IndyCar race, so I had to do something to him. Good times. That bad, Jake? The bad thing was it was your own teammates. That one. I think Travis checked up and Jay Winch got into the back of him and turned him down into you. There's 3 10-10 trucks all beaten up there. Blake warming up the tires in that 16. Not sure how much that helps in a super speedway situation. We're about to get a natural green-white checker, so this one does not count towards the 3 that they would get. Pace car heads off. Talon Smith, Ethan Evers, your control trucks. Talon on the bottom, the leader. There's your green flag. Blake Giglio hanging right with this top 5. Kenneth Stout in there, Dave Hoytsma. Can't tell which of the Texaco trucks that is. I think it's Catalano. And then about 3 trucks behind him is the other one. Both on that high line. And we are going 3 wide with Giglio. He saw his opportunity and went straight to the top. And with his teammates, Dave Hoytsma and Catalano. Now they are all 3 wide. Harper pushing for all he's worth in the middle, trying to get Ethan Evers back ahead of Giglio. Blake's going to have all that speed and energy on that high lane. And we're going to get the white flag. This lap will end it. We will end in regulation. White flag is out. Who is going to survive this lap? Oh, the 19 of Jeff Price gets up into Blake Giglio. They're going to all crash back there. That is going to be a field wiper. 6 trucks left in contention. They are still crashing back there. We have Ethan Evers, basically 5 Delta Prime trucks and Kenneth Stout are left. That's what we're looking at. Oh, Dalton Hayes getting up the track a little bit. He gets an Ethan Evers, gets him out of shape. He's going to come back down into Dalton Hayes. They're all going to bounce off one another. Bam! Ethan Evers into the 7. That's going to be Talon Smith out front. Kenneth Stout, he's going to wreck his way through there. That's going to be Talon Smith's win. Kenneth Stout second. Maybe Dominic Lee third. He's probably going to get a black flag here and send him down, but I think he is going to be third across the line, and it may give him a penalty for the pit entrance there. Wow. A lot just happened there. I mean, a lot just happened there. Talon Smith, first race in this truck, picks up a win. After sitting on the pole. Nicely done there, Talon. See if we can find Dominic Lee in the 21 for his interview. Yep, there he is. Dom, DG, got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, somehow we brought that truck home third going across the grass. What happened on that last lap there from your perspective?
I mean, I have no idea, honestly. I was just trying to work with our Delta Prime guys there at the end. Unfortunately, you know, Mike got taken out real early, and so it was just kind of working with Talon and Dalton and Ethan and Nathan, I believe, up there as well, trying to secure that top 5 for us, and trying to really hold back Blake because I knew he'd be really hard to beat and do everything he can to make it 3 wide and get up there at the end. But there, coming out of 4, I was just pushing Dalton and Talon for everything I could, and then I have no idea what happened. I saw the 29 go low under me, and all heck broke loose. So
10-4, we bring it home third. You got the Friends Family sponsor shoutouts for us?
yeah, I just gotta thank Delta Prime, all their great guys in there. God, thank you for putting on this great broadcast. And happy to be back and running well.
10-4, we're glad to have you back, bud. Congrats on that P3 finish, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Absolutely.
Looking for the 29 truck. I don't see him at the moment. We'll keep our eyes peeled in case he drops in, but I don't see Kenneth Stout anywhere for interviews, so we'll go get Talon in the 71. Let him do his winner thing. Talon, DG, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, as you finish all your pretty burnouts and everything, then I pull you in, right? Always the way. Well, that was an exciting race. It looks like team kind of had the top 5 controlled there for a while until all hell broke loose there at the end. Tell me how the night went and how you were able to pull that off.
Yeah. Our early at the end there, our plan was just to try to control the bottom 2 lanes and really hope for the best there. Hope that no one could get a 3rd lane going, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it was well controlled. Blake Giglio kept trying that top line, and you guys were somehow able to hold him off. They had a ton of speed up there, so that was pretty impressive. First night in that truck, and you pull off a win. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it's a good scheme.
Well, I love the numbers you chose for it. It's very nice. Congrats on the win tonight. You got the friends, family, and sponsor shout-outs tonight.
Yeah, thanks to Fort Worth Screen Printing, and congrats on Nathan for the regular season championship, I believe.
Well, there you go. Congrats on the strong run tonight, and shout out to Nathan for his Chick-fil-A throwback to himself. Talon didn't want to talk anymore. All right. Let's see if one more chance. Kenneth Stout has shown up anywhere. Don't see him in driver's waiting room, any of the teams. Nope, no Kenneth Stout, so we're going to go to 4th, which is going to be Nathan Harper. Nathan, DG, you got a copy?
Oh, I do. I finished 4th.
You
What
did.
is this?
Kenneth Stout finished 2nd and didn't show up to talk, so I'm going to bring you in here to talk.
Okay. I'm here.
Looked like things were going pretty good until that last lap. I don't know really even what happened. We're watching in slow-mo and I still don't understand what happened, but
who's the black truck on the bottom?
they're all blue.
Oh, they're all blue?
Yeah, they're all blue.
My training paint. Okay, well, the second car in the bottom
47.
was Hayes.
Yes.
How I'm seeing it, he kind of, I'm not really ticked off about it, but he kind of hit him, moved him up, and Ethan, he got to my right front a bit, and I tried checking up and just got him. That was unfortunate, but I mean, I was already locked in the playoffs, and I didn't really care. I was just, at least one of us won it, so that's what matters most to me. And I think we're regular season champions, so.
That's what Talon said.
I think. Who's second to Travis Martin? He finished 16th, and I got stage points, so I think I should have it. But
it's not really anything we track because it doesn't mean anything. If you want to track it, you go right ahead.
I guess. I mean, that's probably the only championship I'll win. Let's see, what is it next week? Atlanta and Iowa. So if I wreck out at Atlanta, I'm not good at Iowa. My season can be over then. So hey, I gotta enjoy it all I can.
Fair enough. You enjoy and take your wins where you can get them. All right, but I'm not going to shame you.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get. It's hard to get a good finish in this league.
10-4 just speaks to the parity. A lot of drivers very good in this league.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, since you get to do your sponsor shout-outs, go ahead and hit me with them.
Labor for sponsoring the series. Chick-fil-A, Ford. You for broadcasting this, and everybody who showed up tonight. It was pretty good turnout. 31 of us.
Yeah, I had to go back far enough in the field to find when you actually had a nose to show off your Ford for that shout out.
And Delta Prime, that was good teaming up with them. We worked really good together on that.
I was gonna say, did you have fun tonight?
Say that again.
I was gonna say, did you have fun tonight with those guys?
Oh yeah. We were on point tonight. It sucks. Edwards was in a must-win situation, and we were trying to get him to win, but he got wrecked, and yeah.
I didn't even know he had enough starts to be in a must-win situation. He's not running.
That's what he was saying.
He's probably right. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats on that P4. Sorry Kenneth Stout wasn't here to have a chat with us, but you filled in nicely.
Yep.
Good luck next week in the playoffs.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll see you. I'm sure we'll see you Friday night, if not before.
Friday night. Yes, I'll be on Friday night. Yep. You'll see me.
All right, bud. We'll see you Friday.
Yep.
Nathan Harper brings it home fourth, and that is all we got for you tonight. Let's go ahead and run through our final standings here. Promise we can do that if this thing will... It worked a little bit eventually last race. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. All right. Much easier this time. Talon Smith with the win. Kenneth Stout, Dominic Lee, your podium. Nathan Harper, Blake Giglio rounding out your top 5. Andrew Beach, Scott Elston, Dalton Hayes, Colin Teague, Jeremy Shearer round out the top 10. We're going to go ahead and try to do points after this, so if you bear with me once we run through this, we will try to get the points and see who makes it. Cody Cleaver, Ethan Evers, Jeff Price, Jay Richter, Trenton Sneed, Travis Martin, Patsy Catalana, Randy Lee, Jay Munch, Dave Hoitzman, your top 20. Page 3, Gatlin Downey, Daniel Walling, Cliff Mullins, Mike Edwards, Hayden Lull, Will Asherbranner, Jake Bustos, Jake Lawrence, Will Spart, Mac Benke, and the final driver tonight will be Zach Margison. Whew! All right. We're going to go ahead and kill the broadcast, but we're going to go ahead and stay with the Twitch, and we'll do points live on the Twitch. So if you're at the Twitch, go ahead and check that out. We're going to go and end it on YouTube. Let's go ahead and roll through our sponsor slides. Pay the bills, get on out of here. Wild Horde Broadcasting does our ARCA series on Monday nights. Rev Sim Shop started us off tonight on the Dirt Street Stocks. And then we have our favorite band, Labor 12, doing this truck series for us tonight. Appreciate them so very much. And Randy coming out the race with us tonight. That was awesome. Arc Music, they'll do our Cup series tomorrow with the Gen 4 Cup cars. And then on Thursday, our longtime sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing, putting on our Xfinity race. Golden Eagle Syrup. Always a good time over in the Super Speedway Series on Friday nights. Anybody can win those races. And then CTC Race Network puts on our IndyCar League. So good to have IndyCar back. They put on our late night Friday IndyCar Series. Thanks you to all of our sponsors, all of our admins, and all of our drivers to help make this thing go round to entertain you folks. We so very much appreciate you being here. Have a great night.